Hey you guys, welcome back to my TikTok. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about things that you might need if you want to start a sublimation business. So I'm going to recommend some things. It also depends on what kind of sublimation business you want to start. So for example, if you want to do shirts with sublimation, you might want to buy a heat press. If you want to do tumblers or mugs, or tumblers and mugs, you can buy a tumbler press or a sublimation oven, which is what I have. I have a tumbler press too, but I use the sublimation oven more, simply because the sublimation oven, you can do different sizes of tumblers and different sizes of mugs. So that's why I prefer the sublimation oven. Number two is a printer for sublimation, like this one on top. This one is especially for sublimation. Or you can buy a printer and then convert it for sublimation. I prefer the printer that's already for sublimation, because I've heard that, well, I hadn't had a lot of problems with my sublimation printer, but I've heard that people who have converted their printers have had problems with clogged ink and all that stuff. So if you have the money, I would invest in a sublimation printer that's already especially for sublimation. The next thing is heat resistant tape. You want to buy heat resistant tape for your shirts, for your tumblers. I would recommend the blue tape, simply because the yellow tape, heat resistant tape, I haven't had good things with it, because it does leave some residue. Some of them leave some residue, so I would recommend the heat resistant tape that's blue. The next thing is sublimation paper. You are going to need sublimation paper. You can use regular paper, but I would recommend using sublimation paper. I use the brand HTV. There's also ASA. There's PYD, I believe, has sublimation paper. There's a lot of sublimation papers. You can also buy transfers that already have the image that you want. So you order the transfer with the image that you want, and then wait for it, and then just transfer it to whatever blank you want to transfer it. But I believe, like, if you want to start a business, might as well buy a printer and a sublimation transfer. But if you don't have a lot of money to invest in yet, I would just try sublimation transfers. Buy it from somebody else and then transfer it to your blank. The next thing is sublimation blanks. So sublimation blanks, you want to buy polyester shirts. Cotton shirts do not work for sublimation. I've seen a lot of people have this issue where they buy a lot of shirts, cotton shirts, and then it doesn't work for sublimation. No, for sublimation you need polyester. So I would recommend 65% and up polyester, because the more polyester the shirt has, the more vivid the image is going to come out. So I would recommend 100% polyester shirts. Make sure your tumblers, mugs, or any blank that you have is for sublimation. It's made for sublimation. The next thing is butcher paper. Butcher paper, you need it to protect your heat press. I use it when making my tumblers. So butcher paper, I buy mine from Sam's, simply because it's a little bit cheaper and it comes in a big roll. Number 7 is heat resistant gloves. You definitely need heat resistant gloves for your safety, to protect you from the heat when taking the shrink wrap from your hot tumbler that you made in your sublimation oven, or when taking off the butcher paper from your shirt in your heat press. So those are some of the things that I recommend for you to buy for your sublimation business.